OpenDoor Technologies has failed a breakout over the course of the past month, leaving a very obvious bull flag with massive breakout indications and ended up pulling back with negative variance. Should we expect OpenDoor Technologies to pick up its feet here and get a strong upside, getting back towards these upper 8, 9, $10 levels? Or are we going to see a top out here? My name is Don from Dollar Trades. We're going to break down OpenDoor Technology stock price. Go first to the weekly to get the long-term perspective. Incredible price action. We have been following OpenDoor, predicting the bottom at these lower $1.80 levels, and have seen stock price building out in this more long-term accumulation, continuing since that ultimate top out at $10. Typically with these very high flyers, you're going to see stock price reverting at these big psychological levels, and we did see that exactly with Open topping out at $10. Keep it on that $6 level. If we break that, you're likely going to use all of this very tight trading energy range to not give some sort of a momentarily dip. You're likely to come back down to this former big low, which is exactly at that psychological $5 support. Very big marker point here on the weekly analysis. Keep an eye on $6. And if you do see a flush below that, likely to move back down towards $5. Or if we see the green activity and some bullish momentum holding, you have seen, I don't know, a couple of weeks here, pulling back down to that big support. Expect a bounce at that level. So really one of the two options here, no in between here for OpenDoor. Very volatile, getting to that exact inflection point for either a big bounce or a breakdown. So with that being said, we're now going to flip to the daily analysis, being the medium term analysis. Then things, very drastic example of this breakout, moving all the way from the bottom of the flag, not having a lot of good momentum here, dropping drastically, then absolutely flipping trend here with a massive bullish wide bar, flipping another, and another, before pulling back into a trading panic structure. Okay, we have seen this panic structure get a little bit tight here, trying to hold the base, ultimately attempting to break up and then failing, sweeping beneath. We have seen a flush. So since that breakdown of around that $6.87, $7 level, did break this ascending profile, now collapsing a little bit lower with the overall market in unison of a lot of these top stocks dropping. So currently looking at the support level, does lead right back to $6. Super pivotal spot. Stock price is right around that to the low of day within today's action. And when you see a very volatile drop within a stock leading at a massive spot, you got to keep an eye on that big psychological level and that daily low. And these two both do move in unison right next to each other here. So keep an eye on $6. And then your next support is going to be $5.50, $5.46, and then $5. Did see a couple different multiple back tests here on the daily as well to note. Stock price did break down before pulling back down, potentially threatening to get back in this descending channel, but the buyers are interested. So potentially we could see that reversion step right back up, but we need to see the buyers step back up, right? That's the most important step of the equation. So as of right now, you need to see some bullish presence here from the bulls to flip the momentum of this negative bearish reversal. Perhaps stock price does break $6 and then tests the bottom of this very long-term descending channel, right? This long-term bull flag. It gets the bounce, but as of right now, coming in the next few days, I do think you're going to see a little bit of a relief bounce. Okay, OpenDoor Technologies here does have some short-term negative candle structure, but I do think with that being noted, we're still going to battle here around $6 for at least a couple days, sitting and marinating, and you're really going to know what's going to happen if that level gets breached. I hate to keep it so one-dimensional, but I don't. Technical analysis can be really simple in a lot of equations, and this is one of those analysis, man. A lot of things lead out to that. A lot of volatility dropping from 627. It's a very big support level, very massive here, guys. And then dropping with $6 right in unison to that low of day, this very explosive bar. Keep an eye on $6, $5.50, and $5. Likely going to be a couple of days here, 1-2 days of just kind of jolting back and forth, rising back up to $6.50. Wouldn't make sense, but we need to see what's going to happen here for a few more days to fill out this canvas, right? This very big puzzle here for OpenDoor to then analyze. We will jump on that when that does happen. With that being said, we're now going to flip to the last step in the analysis today, being the hourly. And you did see stock price attempt to get a double bottom at that $6.27 level, ultimately failing, then going lower to test close to $6 end the day. So really big drop here, guys. The overall market does look definitely very threatening here from a more long-term perspective. Is going over to the monthly, I mean, absolutely massive movement. We're starting to see that, momentum revert. It's where a lot of people panic. We were setting a lower high on the weekly. Will that revert to a lot of your big mover stocks that have been in a very comfortable environment? Perhaps. We will see what happens. A lot of these can be cleared up within just a couple of days of trading action, and OpenDoor Technologies could be affected within that. So definitely keep an eye on that here. Once again, jumping back to the hourly, nothing too much here to see, just a lot of unprecedented negativity, a lot of negativity. Typically, when you see this kind of a drop back, you're going to see a red to green reversal where stock price will at least make up some of this, even if it is to go lower, right? To move lower, hypothetically, if that $6 does flush come the next few trading days, you're almost indefinitely going to see a little bit of upside. So I would expect stock price to get back towards $6.50. But whether you see the bulls, accumulate here within a little bull flag to break up higher, or some remnants of some bullish structure, that's going to let you know really is OpenDoor back on the track to go back towards $8, $9, $10. As of right now, we're in a very uncertain time, sitting at very big data points. But I do hope this video can help, give a little bit of perspective within the technicals here for OpenDoor. Very volatile time. A lot of it does stem right back to the psychological $6 level. If you guys found any value with it today, consider dropping a sub and a like. We'll continue to track and cover OpenDoor Technology stock price about 1 to 2 times per week. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Trade smart.